Right, so where we were in the last video was creating this slot for our wood, and I was showing you that by pulling this arrow just here, much like when we extruded out and turned our sketch from 2D to 3D, we can choose how deep this gap, this cut which we're making, is actually going to be. Now we could go forever right the way through if we so wished. It will give you that option. We don't really want that though. We want our wood to end up stopping part way through, and what you've also got to consider is that we've also got kind of the curvature of the original circle. So what we don't want to do is get too close to our cylinder and come through the side, because that will mean that our piece of wood would indeed come through and would begin interfering with the bulb. So what I would recommend is that you take it to, let's have a look, yeah. So again, I'm just going to change the view which I'm using here to make life easier for myself. I believe that is, yeah, 32 millimeters. So that's allowing, actually no, sorry, scrap that. We're going to make that 30 millimeters. So that cut, that gap which we're going to create is going to go in 30 millimeters into the wood, but that still allows for that continuation of our cylinder circle as well, so the two don't interfere. And then if I just pull it around so you can see, it's just demonstrating exactly what's going to happen. Once you've done that, you've got exactly the right dimensions and the depth that it's going in correct. I'm going to press tick, and then voila, it has created that gap. And so I think you can now begin to kind of envisage what's happening. The wood will be slotting in there. So the next thing for us to do is to go on to positioning the hole for our screw, which is at the other end, which is just here. So we're going to do the same thing again. We need to highlight the face that we're working on. What I firstly want to do is once again change the angle. I always find that it helps if you're not working, trying to do something like this on this face while it's at a ludicrous angle, as you can see. Keep it nice and simple, make it easy for yourself. You can go like this or with it horizontally, it doesn't make any difference. Either way, what we want to do is, as we've done before, we're going to highlight this one face, and we are going to go to sketch again. And this time what we're going to do is just create a marker point so that we know where we want our hole to end up going into and through. So we're going to use this, literally as it says, it's a point. So you click it, and it's very much just a case of lining it up, as you can see, with the yellow square which you can see there. Now that actually, and it's not come up yet, this indicates where the middle of this line is. And that's really useful because it does allow you to position things nice and accurately, and you will also get it along here as well. Now what is possible is to, and you may have to look really quite closely and get a good old look at the screen here, but hopefully you can see that you've got the two blue dashed lines, and you've also got those two white boxes with the black lines going through. That indicates you are absolutely straight and true both vertically and horizontally, and we're going to be in the middle where our pencil point is. So I'm going to click there, and it will add that point there, which is exactly what we want. So I'm going to press tick, and I think also at the same time I'm just going to position this round so it's a bit more straightforward to look at. So our next job is to create a hole through here. We're going to be using the hole wizard. Now at the moment it's not allowing us to do that because we're not actually indicating what it is we're working on. Don't know whether you can see, but that pencil is still showing as I'm moving around. If you ever have that, just go back to the sketch tab, press the sketch button, and it will stop it. So if we come back now, it's free, we can use it. So we're going to press hole wizard, and it will pull up this bar here. So what we firstly want to do is to indicate the position that this hole is going to be on here, and that's why we made that little point. So if you click on the positions tab first, then highlight the face that you want it to be on, and you'll see it immediately is creating sort of an example of it. It's highlighting exactly where the hole is going to go. So we're going to put it, and we're going to click on that point which we created at the very beginning. So click there, and if we go back to type, what we're able to do is alter and change the kind of size that we're looking for of a hole. You've got lots of various types which you can use here if we wanted to countersink our piece for the screws and the bolts we're using. We can do. Ultimately we don't need to, we're just creating a hole, so we're going to click there, and in the next video I will show you the dimensions and everything. It's a little bit complicated.